Hello, and welcome back to the Well-Read Monocle. Today, we are taking a comprehensive, highly detailed look at the fourth volume of Stephen Erikson's Malazan Book of the Fallen, the Monumental House of Chains. This novel shifts the narrative structure of the series, opening with a tight, intimate focus before expanding into the sweeping military and magical convergence for which the series is known. Let us explore the entire story, from the initial raids of a tribal warrior to the ghostly climax in the holy desert of Raraku. Part 1. Karsa Orlong's Journey. The book begins in the Laderon Plateau with a character who will become a central figure in the Malazan universe, Karsa Orlong. Karsa is a Teblor warrior of the Urid tribe, a giant of a man driven by xenophobia, immense pride, and the violent mandates of his people's 7 gods, known as the Faces in the Rock. Setting out with his companions, Byroth Guild and Dalum Thord, Karsa seeks to raid the lowlands to slaughter the children, his term for the regular humans who inhabit the plains. However, the world proves far more complex and dangerous than his tribal upbringing prepared him for. After a bloody clash with the Malazan garrison, Karsa is captured and enslaved by a vicious slave master named Silgar. Chained and beaten, Karsa forms an unlikely bond with a fellow prisoner, a Daru rogue named Torvald Nom. Through a series of brutal ordeals, including time in a slave pit, surviving a shipwreck, and crossing a punishing desert, Karsa refuses to be broken. His journey is one of profound, albeit dark, enlightenment. He discovers that his revered 7 gods are not divine beings at all, but broken, renegade Telan Imas, who have manipulated the Teblor for centuries. Renaming himself Toblakai, Karsa rejects their control, forging his own path as a force of nature unbound by the chains of false gods or human masters. Part 2. The 14th Army and Adjunct Tavore. The narrative then broadens, returning to the continent of 7 cities. Following the tragic events of the Chain of Dogs, the Malazan Empire prepares to crush the Whirlwind Rebellion. The task falls to Adjunct Tavore, a stoic, enigmatic leader who must mold the newly formed 14th Army. This force is widely dismissed as an army of children composed mostly of unblooded recruits. To anchor these green soldiers, Tavore seeds the ranks with hardened veterans. Among them is Fiddler, a former bridge burner who is re-enlisted under the name Strings. Strings provides the crucial, pragmatic perspective of the ordinary foot soldier, guiding his squad through the grueling realities of a desert campaign. Tavore's strategy is deliberate and punishing. She forces the 14th Army on a brutal march across the hostile Odhan. This march is a crucible, designed to harden the recruits into a cohesive fighting force capable of facing the fanatical army of the Whirlwind in the legendary desert of Raraku. Part 3. The Camp of the Whirlwind. Meanwhile, in the heart of Raraku, the rebellion is rotting from the inside out. The rebel leader, Shaik, who is secretly Tavore's younger sister, Felisin Paran, presides over a deeply fractured camp. The whirlwind goddess that possesses her is driven by mindless rage, leaving Felisin isolated and overwhelmed. Her high command is a web of treachery. The renegade Malazan Corbolo Dom and the high mage Karmist Relo scheme to seize control of the army. The twisted priest Bidithal pursues his own dark, horrific agendas, while commanders like Leoman of the Flails and Mathok watch with growing disillusionment. Hiboric Ghost Hands, Felisin's former companion, struggles with his own unwanted ascension as the destriant of the boar god Treach, trying to protect those he cares about amidst the looming chaos. Furthermore, the Malazan assassin, Kalam Mekar, infiltrates the camp, systematically hunting down the Talon assassins and rebel officers, heightening the paranoia within Shaik's ranks. Part 4. Wandering Paths, Trull Sengar and Cutter. As the main armies position themselves, 2 vital subplots unfold. First, we witness the aftermath of the prologue, where Trull Sengar, Atista Edur, is subjected to the shorning, ritually mutilated and chained to a wall in a flooded realm for speaking out against his brothers. He is rescued by Onrak, a Telan Imas, who has been freed from his eternal vow. The two form a poignant friendship, traveling together and uncovering ancient secrets, including the terrifying legacy of the Deragoth, the Hounds of Darkness. Elsewhere, the Daru youth Crocus, now calling himself Cutter, and the assassin Apsala are tasked by the shadow god Cotillion to protect the true throne of shadow on the island of Drift Avali. They fight alongside the tragic Tista Andi Andarist to repel a Tista Edur invasion, a conflict that ultimately reveals Shadow Throne's broader manipulations to secure his realm. Part 5. The Convergence at Raraku. The narrative threads collide violently as the 14th Army reaches the edge of Raraku. But the climax is not a standard military engagement. The holy desert itself awakens. A song rises from the sands, and the memories of Raraku take physical form. A flood of water and ghosts sweeps across the basin. The spirits of the fallen bridge burners, along with ancient armies, rise to protect their living comrades and slaughter the whirlwind forces. Within the camp, the rebellion completely implodes. The whirlwind goddess is defeated, revealed to be an ancient Talan Imas bonecaster consumed by a millennia-old grudge. Karsa Orlong, fulfilling his promise of vengeance, executes Bidithul and the slave master Silga, cutting a bloody swathe through the rebel command before walking away into the night. The emotional zenith occurs in the clash between the Malazan adjunct and the rebel leader. Tavore and Shaik meet in single combat. Tavore drives her Otataral sword through Shaik, killing her instantly. The tragedy is profound. Tavore does not know that she has just executed her own sister. The Imperial spies, Pearl and Lostara Yil, who have deduced Felicin's true identity, choose to keep the secret forever, sparing Tavore the soul-crushing guilt of her action. House of Chains concludes with the Malazan 14th Army victorious. Though the victory is steeped in sorrow and shadow, the novel is a masterful exploration of its title. Every character wrestles with chains of their own making, whether it is Karsa Orlong, bound by false dogmas, Felicine chained to her trauma, or Tavore shackled by the unrelenting demands of imperial duty. Stephen Erikson delivers a poignant meditation on the nature of freedom, the invisible burdens of leadership, and the tragic, uncelebrated sacrifices that history demands. Thank you for joining me on the Well-Read Monocle for this deep dive into House of Chains. If you found this summary helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Until next time, keep reading and keep exploring the pages of the Fallen.